Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to this episode of Dear Ficomm. I'm Carolyn, a VP of Consulting at Ficomm Partners, and I'm thrilled to talk about a big topic today. We're going to address how can I get more prospects? How can I bring on new clients? We're talking net new assets here, and really how can I grow this? Because ultimately, that's the core of the question. We don't just want to market our firm, we want to market in order to drive business results. So sometimes marketing does drive expanded wallet share, it increases in client referrals. All this is really good. And when we think about net new assets, folks often phrase this like, how can we grow our clients? Like, how can we get more clients? How can we get more prospects? What I want to invite you to think about today is a reframe of this question, because the way you're asking that question actually isn't really taking into account human behavior, the human experience. And at Ficomm, we very much believe in high impact and results to the business when you take a human first approach. So instead of asking, how can I get more clients? The better question is, how does your ideal client want to hear from you? How does your ideal client want to hear from you? And the answer lies in the reality of your ideal client. So before we can even answer this question, we have to know your ideal client profile. As part of the Advisor Accelerator that I lead at Ficomm right now, we are working with advisors to create a one-page ideal client profile. And one thing very important about this is the demographics of that person is maybe a sixth of the page, like their age, their assets, where they live, their marital status, their job title. These kinds of things are a very small portion of the profile. What we actually want to know when you think about your ideal client is, what are their worldviews? What's their lifestyle? What do they worry about? What's on their mind? Like, what's on kind of the human behind these demographic facts? So once you have your ideal client profile, it's a huge, huge asset to your growth strategy, because then we can look at it and say, okay, let's look at their life. How would this person want to hear from you? And when would they want to be thinking about their finances? And at what moments are they going to be motivated to act? As you move through this work as well, if you're going to DIY this, I would highly encourage you to interview your top clients. So look at your current client base and say, okay, of all these clients, who would I love to replicate? So don't just look at the biggest clients, because that can be one factor of growing the business. But also, like, who are the clients that are very fulfilling to serve, that you look forward to the impact you can make on them. You enjoy the relationship you have. And if you could clone these certain clients again and again and again, you would have a profitable, fulfilling business. Okay, so look and identify those client names. You might identify 5, maybe 10, but even if there's only 3 or 5, that's fine for this next step. What you do then is you ask them. You can tee up the conversation, and you basically want to understand how they use the internet. When or how did they research their initial questions that brought them to you? If they sit down and they use their phone for 30 minutes on the couch, what are they looking at? And if you were to create content online, what would they love to see from you? You don't have to look at an ideal client profile and make guesses all the time. You can look at your ICP and then ask top clients and make strategic decisions based on their reality. I hope this was helpful. It's kind of like these next steps as you think about how can we get more clients. Reframe that question, look at your ideal client profile, ask top clients, and then be consistent online. There's so much that happens after this kind of conversation. So if a question is on your mind as you listen to this video, feel free to drop us a question. You can DM me on LinkedIn. You can use the link below to submit on the website at Ficomm. And we would love to answer your next question in an upcoming episode.